Welcome back to the channel. I'm GemMint, and today we're going to take a look at every X-Men statue from Iron Studios. If you guys caught my end of the year 2022 room tour, you saw the Iron Studios Sentinel Diorama display, and I was kind of running out of space. I had two tables I put together, and it really needed a third. Picked up that third table, so I put all the proximity pieces here so that we can set it up and give those guys some room to breathe. I figured it'd be a great opportunity to showcase every X-Men statue from the Iron Studios 1/10 scale line, including those Sentinel dioramas, but more importantly, all the proximity pieces. All right, we can't start talking about the proximity pieces without talking about the main diorama. So here is Sentinel number 3. As you can see, it comes with Storm and Archangel. Around the side, we have Psylocke hanging on to the Sentinel. Of course, we have Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat, coming through the leg, and Iceman on the back there. So those are the 5 pieces with Sentinel 3. Sentinel 2 comes with 3, but you got Gambit here with a nice wave of cards, Juggernaut, and of course Magneto sitting on top of that Sentinel head. He does come with an unmasked portrait without the helmet, but I choose to display him like this. And then the first one, Sentinel Diorama number 1, has Cyclops blasting with an optic blast, Jubilee here on the other end, Wolverine busting through the center. You've got Rogue here clocking him in the face, and then you have Beast on the top shoulder. So those are the pieces that attach to the dioramas. Let's jump into those proximity pieces. All right, here we go, man. So this is every one that's been released so far. There are a ton of proximity pieces for this diorama set. We'll start up here with one of the earlier ones. We have Sabretooth. He's on top of some destroyed Sentinel pieces. He looks great. They definitely gave him that 90s animated series vibe. He's got the huge mane, sharp claws. It's a pretty big piece overall. Then we have a brand new piece. This was the most recent one to come out as I'm recording this. This is the Logan piece, and it was kind of like, man, should we get Logan, being that we already have Wolverine on the first diorama? Yes, we need to get Logan. So he's got his jeans and boots, his leather jacket, traditional tank top underneath, and he's got those long claws. No switch outs or anything on this guy. This is what you see is what you get. Then moving on to Quicksilver, one of the most annoying to put together. I don't think I've still put together all those rocks and debris the right way. Like, there's pieces that are still in the box, but I definitely love the movement of this character, how he's leaning forward. You get that feeling that he's running super fast. And you know, we had to have Quicksilver along with Wanda, his sister, Scarlet Witch, who we'll see a little bit later. Onto the elf, Kurt Wagner. We have Nightcrawler here, which is the only one that comes with a proximity piece himself. He's got a BAMF that you can place somewhere else to make it look like he's transporting. Love how they did the BAMF. Loving the agility that they've given Nightcrawler in this piece. Overall, they crushed it. All right, then moving on to another early one. This is Mystique. She did come with this Sabretooth arm switch out. The other switch out, I believe, is a weapon of some sort. I put it back in the box. She's got more of the destroyed school look on her base. Cool piece to add to the diorama set. Like I said, one of those earlier ones that came out. And then we have Cable. Cable was the first ever Comic-Con exclusive over in Brazil, and it wasn't available to us right away. I almost thought I was going to miss out on it. And eventually it was available on Sideshow, so we kind of now know with those con exclusives, they'll eventually be available in the States here. And then we've got the Silver Samurai. So very cool to see a Wolverine villain here. There are a couple in this diorama, and I think he looks great. I mean, he's got the armor, a lot of intricacies sculpted in there. Paint applications look great. Loving the katanas. And then we have another con exclusive, Deadpool. So this one I would say companions with Cable. It's got the goofy elements of Deadpool that I'm not really a big fan of, and I do feel like he's a little bit too dark on the red. I wish they would have given him a brighter red. The weaponry is cool. He's kind of a goofy piece altogether. Another one that can companion with Cable here, we have Bishop. Bishop is dope. I've done a solo review on this piece. He's really leaned forward, kind of like Quicksilver, but he's got his huge weapon, and then he's got that translucent kinetic energy on his left hand. Awesome piece. That Spider-Man booth is currently in open enrollment for their January subscription box. Not only will you get over $100 in value, which includes 5 comics, store exclusives, and variants, but you'll also get a variant exclusive to this box. For January, it's a Quested #1 with cover art by Alex Regal. They only made 600 of the regular editions, 100 of the foils, and 50 medals. Swing on over to thatspidermanbooth.com right now and sign up for their subscription box. And then we're moving on to the Blob. So the Blob kind of just shows you that it doesn't have to be a popular character to be a dope statue in this diorama. It's one of the more well done pieces. The paint applications are top tier. The skin looks amazing, the sculpt looks amazing, and he's such a huge, heavy piece. So this is also a brand new release. It shipped right before the Logan piece. It's their Apocalypse, and this is the deluxe edition that comes with this huge switch out arm drill, which has a piece of the Sentinel that they're fighting. It also does have 2 portraits, one with the screaming and one without. This is one of the best pieces in the diorama series. It's one of the biggest. It has some of the most intricacies with the sculpt. The paint is amazing. It screams 90s animated series, and it's got one of the biggest bases out of all of these so far. The other one with one of the largest bases, and another one that is one of the most difficult to assemble, it's Mojo. Still one of my favorites, but man, there were so many pieces and they don't really key in that easily to give him his spider-like mechanical body, but I think it looks great. Love the huge tail, love the disgusting yellowish green skin. This is another one that's up there with the Blob. Not a hugely popular character, but one that I'm so glad to see them do. Alright guys, so this is the first proximity piece that came out. It might have even come out before the diorama series was completed. I could be mistaken, but Pyro. Brotherhood of the Mutants, another one of those obscure villains that made the cut, and I'm so glad they did. 2 huge translucent resin pieces of flame that attach to his arms. A character that we'll probably never see again made in any other statue format. Alright, another villain, hero, depending on how you look at it, Emma Frost, the White Queen. This is a cool piece. I like the flowing sculpted cape. I do wish they would have given her more of her diamond form. I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity on this statue, but still cool to add her to the diorama. Alright guys, then we have Cyclops' little brother Havoc. I love this huge piece of translucent resin showcasing his mutant ability. He's in mid-battle action, and I love the throwback costume. They could have went with the black costume, but I feel like this one has more color, makes him pop more, makes him feel like he's more part of the team. Alright guys, this was a super early piece as well, the Professor X. I want to say this one and Mystique sold out. Even though these pieces don't have edition sizes, I feel like they both sold out. Professor X does come with switch outs. He has a Cerebro switch out portrait, and then he has loose chest pieces that go all across the destroyed floor. Love that 90s Jim Lee animated series type of hover chair. And then a recent piece, this is one of the best pieces in the dio, man. The Forge statue. I love how he's spraying this weapon that he's created. You got the bullets spread out. You could see the translucent resin making up the smoke. He just has an awesome pose to him, and he's such a underrated character, one that you don't see very much in statues. So cool to add him to this diorama. Then we have Jean Grey. So there is a Phoenix one coming out, which is going to be the largest piece out of these 1/10 scale proximity statues. The Jean Grey is classy. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's a very narrow piece, but I think the base is what really sells this one. The translucent pink energy, like the whited out eyes, a must-have in addition to this dio. Then we have Colossus, one of my favorite ones. I love how much presence this has. He's holding a huge piece of the Sentinel with both hands over his head. He's huge, a large muscular character. I dig how they did the sculpt and the paint applications on this guy. Colossus is one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites, definitely one of my favorite villains, is the Omega Red, another Wolverine villain. And I feel like I don't hear people talking about this piece that much. I think it's underrated. I love the tentacles, the way that they coil up, the shine on the red part of his costume, just all the fine details that they sculpted in here, the white skin, the movement of him. He's also on a destroyed Sentinel piece. Awesome addition. Moving on to Sauron, another one that was a con exclusive. I was worried we weren't going to get it in the States. He's one of the larger pieces, one of the tallest ones. Love the nod to the Savage Land. And again, the Xmen animated series. A lot of these pieces, we know these characters from there. And I foreshadowed her before, but the Scarlet Witch, she has a lot of translucent resin, from the hex powers on her hands to the base, which makes her stand very tall, has some great movement in the cape. Overall, a great statue. And that's gonna bring us to the last one. From X-Force, we have Warpath, descendant of Thunderbird, the fallen X-Men from Giant Size X-Men 1. A very tall piece as he stands proud, no pun intended, on top of some Sentinel debris, dual wielding his blades. Awesome statue. Alright y'all, so that's every X-Men statue from the Iron Studios 1/10 scale Sentinel Diorama line. Let's go ahead and put these guys all on the table with the Sentinel pieces, and I'll leave you with those. Stay minty fresh. Peace.